about 6:30. Where is it?
Right here in front of you.
Somehow I'm not getting it. Okay, a little. It would be amazing to have this backyard, don't you think? Hey, what, Rich? What do you say?
Hey, here we are in Glacier Bay. And to do a panorama from the boat.
Making our way now back out of this inlet, and we'll be passing by the Landflu Glacier again on your starboard side. This time we'll be farther away. You can get a look at more of the full length of that glacier. And you may have noticed on the surfaces of the glaciers you've seen so far, it's not just blue ice, but you can see that rock that has been distributed throughout the glacier. You might have noticed it's been distributed in a very clear pattern, stripes running the length of the glacier. Those stripes show you where one glacier has joined another, where tributaries have flowed into the greater river of ice. Each glacier, in its point of origin, gathers rock from avalanches and landslides on its sides. You can count the spaces between stripes on a glacier and get a good idea of how many tributaries of ice that glacier has. So take a look at the surface of Landflu Glacier as we go by and see how many tributaries you think flowed into that river of ice.
You missed the whole Johnson.
Miss Phyllis just got here. Gotta go to the bathroom, so she missed the whole Johns Hopkins Inlet.
No, I missed it going to the room to get the camera.
Oh, okay. Spectacular view.
Some great icebergs on the other side.
Here's the plan for the rest of the morning. We're going to make our way from Landflu Glacier up Tar Inlet, right up to the Canadian-U.S. border, and there we'll be getting close to two more glaciers, Marjorie and Grand Pacific. These two glaciers look entirely different from the glaciers you've seen this morning. Each one of these glaciers looks different from the others. Marjorie Glacier is perhaps the most active calving glacier that you'll get close to. It has a high ice front that is 300 to 400 feet high, and a good deal of calving can often be seen there. That's when the ice breaks off and crashes into the ocean. That'll be at 11:30, and you sure won't want to miss that. So come on out on decks at 11:30, and we'll be at Marjorie Glacier. In the meantime, I'll continue my commentary as we head up towards that glacier.
A view of all the icebergs in the water in Glacier Bay.
She said she spent the morning sitting on your bed taking pictures.
Okay. Very small icebergs, but lots and lots and lots of them. I wonder where Lance is. I wonder where Todd is.
He walked away in a huff, so I was taking pictures.
Why?
I don't know.
Who?
Lance.
Why would that bother him? He was trying to talk to you.
Right in front of me.
It's warm enough to be melting that ice. So if a glacier can build up some kind of protection between itself and the water, then it can grow. A glacier's protection is in the form of rocks. Look at Lamplugh Glacier. Look at all the rock that's carried in that ice. On the sides of it, down the middle of it, over the surface, embedded within the face of the glacier itself. All that rock is being carried, just like on a conveyor belt, to the front of the glacier. Then it might be able to grow. And we'll be talking more about this as we go up towards Grand Pacific Glacier, which is advancing and has a very large terminal moraine, or rock barrier.
Just a minute, 1 second. A sweep of the mountains, one of the glaciers, and showing how we're going into the fog now. Mist and everything's disappearing. Very foggy out there, and very clear out here. Okay, the last shots were the
Imagine
starboard
what
side.
Glacier Bay would
Now we're on
have
the
looked
port
like
side.
to the first outsiders that came into this area a little over 100 years ago. The first outsider to visit Glacier Bay was a man by the name of John Muir. He arrived here in 1879. He came up in September by steamship, which at that time took him up to Wrangell. From the town of Wrangell, he heard that there was a place to the north where there were glaciers. John Muir was interested in learning more about glaciers because he was interested in seeing how they affected the landscape. He believed that Yosemite, his special place, had been carved by glaciers, and he was looking for evidence. He hired a canoe with 4 native paddlers that were to act as his guides and translators.
There's Phyllis with hot cider and hot soup on this date, which is 31st of July. Although it says 1:35 p.m., the actual time here is 10:49 p.m. a.m. You can see people with blankets. On July the 31st. I would say it's about 50 degrees right now. If I swing around, you can see we're in fog. And all you see is we're in the lounge. And you can see beautiful vistas at the lounge. And right here, Phyllis is. Turn around, Phyllis. Say hello.
Can you get those icebergs? Are you getting the icebergs?
Yes, I am.
It's very bleak. I wonder what the water temperature is.
Here's a nice Schimmel piano that we discovered.
Oh, it's already failed?
Okay, there's the mountains out there. I can't see them. There's these sort of trails on them. Coming out of the mist now.
Coming out of the mist?
Can you see the trails? You can see trails going up the mountain, but you can't see the mountain. Just figured out what the hell.
See those trails right now.
Glaciers are often thought of as the destroyers of life, and in many ways that's true. But glaciers can also make an area even richer. At the entrance to Glacier Bay, where there's not such a heavy silt load in the water, there's still silt present, and there's a great deal of churning action at the shallow entrance to this bay. The silt in the water makes these waters particularly rich, and we have an enormous bloom of plankton tiny plants and animals in the water during the long spring mornings, long spring sunny days. That means we get a great deal of life in the water.
Coming
That
into the
brings
sun
in
now.
fish like herring and capelin. That brings in harbor seals and stellar sea lions and humpback whales. 20% of the southeast Alaskan catch of Dungeness crab comes from waters in and around Glacier Bay.
Should be serving crab.
These
They were
waters are
last
very
night.
rich, and it's the glaciers that are
Big
contributing
iceberg.
to
Look at these
that.
big icebergs over here. Some of them
So
are
that's
blue.
why we have
This one's
humpback
blue.
whales.
Hey,
It's a good time to be looking for humpback
that's
whales.
amazing. Getting an incredible view now.
Yeah, so do I. What is it?
I don't know. It's obviously dirty iceberg. Looks like water.
That's one of the glaciers. The real deal one. The other one is over there.
We have two glaciers named for a Frenchman, Emmanuel de Margerie, who was a glaciologist during the 1800s. Margerie Glacier is one of the most impressive glaciers in the park. It comes down from the base of Mount Fairweather, our highest peak, straight into the ocean, a distance of 14 miles. This glacier has a face that is 300 to 400 feet high, and it is unprotected, so it flows directly down into the water and is rapidly melted off at the base, and chunks of ice come down from its base into the water. We call it cavern. No one knows where that
No, go ahead.
comes from.
No, that's okay. Go ahead.
Where is
she? She's coming back.
That's
Oh,
there it goes.
Just missed the front of it.
There it goes. What?
We just heard it. It's like thunder.
Did you hear it?
You heard
Is
it?
the camera on?
Yeah.
Just about to say that you can hear this only outside. So if you look for outside, you can hear the thunder.
I didn't really see it full. I saw
You
it.
saw it? I just missed it,
I saw it as it splashed up. I saw the splash. Damn.
So that you can listen to the sound of the ice as it crashes into the water. It's one of the most impressive sounds that you'll ever hear.
My wife has the real good camera.
Well, he's listening. Huh?
Yeah, well, that's what it is.
Nice to find room here. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
That's what appears as black on the edges of Marjorie Glacier. Notice also how jagged the surface of this glacier is. Jagged and broken. That tells you this glacier is moving fast. How fast does the glacier move? In the summertime, glaciers can move 5 to 10 feet a day. And that's how fast Marjorie Glacier is moving. That causes the little ice on the surface of the glacier to break apart. Whereas the ice at the base of the glacier is under so much pressure that it flows like a river.
Is there a ship coming up behind us? Is that what I'm seeing?